Hello everyone, I am Jalad Singhi from Group 157A of Astana Medical University, and today I am going to represent my IWS work to you. So the theme of IWS work is development of flowcharts of operation of devices of computer. So let's start. So here's the plan of presentation. Here's the introduction. A flowchart is a type of diagram that represents a workflow or process. A flowchart can also be defined as diagrammatic representation of an algorithm, a step-by-step approach to solving a task. The flowchart shows the steps as a boxes of various kinds and their order by connecting the boxes with arrows. This diagrammatic representation illustrates the solution model to a given problem. Flowcharts are used in designing and documenting simple processes or programs like uh, other type of diagram. They help us visualize what is going on and thereby help us understand the process and perhaps also find the less and effective feature of within the process like flaws and bottlenecks. There are different type of flowcharts. Each type has its own set of boxes and notations. The two most common type of boxes in a flowchart are first, a processing step, usually called activity and denoted as a rectangular box. Second, a decision, usually denoted as a diamond. Flowchart depicts certain aspects of processes and are usually complemented by other type of diagram. For instance, Kaoru Ishikawa defined the flowchart as one of the seven basic tools of quality control. Next to histogram, Pareto chart, check sheet, control chart, cause and effect diagram, and scatter diagram. The common alternative name include flowchart, process chart, functional chart, process map, process chart, etc. So what is a flowchart? A flowchart is a picture of separate steps of a process in a sequential order. It is a generic tool that can be adapted for a wide variety of purposes and can be used to describe various processes such as manufacturing process, administrative or service process, project plan. Elements that may be included in a flowchart are a sequence of actions, materials or services entering or leaving the process, decisions that must be made, people who become involved, time involved at each step, and or processes, etc. So type of flowchart. So basically there are four type of flowcharts. We will discuss them one by one. First is document flowchart. These have the purpose of showing existing control over document flow through the component of a system. The chart is read left to right and document of the flow of document through various basic business units. Second is data flowchart. These show the control governing data flow in a system. These are used primarily to show the channel that data is transmitted through the system rather than how control flows. Third is system flowchart. These show the flow of data and through the major component of a system, such as data entry, programs, storage, media, processor, and communication network. Fourth one is program flowchart. These show the control placed internally to a program within a system. Symbols used in flowchart. First symbol is an arrow, which is a line is a connector that shows relationship between the shapes. Second is start or end dialog box. An oval represents start or end point. Third one is input and output. A parallelogram shows input and output. Fourth one is process. A rectangle represents a process. And then a decision. A diamond indicates a decision. Uses of flowchart. First, planning a new project. One of the most frequent use of flowchart is to map out a new project. Engineers and software designers often use flowcharts for this purpose, but others may find them useful as well. They are particularly helpful when the project will involve sequence of steps that involve decision. Second, documenting process. Business often have internal or external requirement for process documentation. Flowcharts are an excellent tool for this purpose. From standards reporting to complying with the government regulation, using a flowchart can be much efficient than from a written narrative. Modeling a business process. Business process can cover a wide range of activities that might be simple and a set of tasks or a complex array of them that covers a number of possible situations. Modeling these processes is done to ensure a consistent, predictable outcome. Documenting or modeling business process is using a event-driven process chain (EPC) diagram. Fourth one is managing workflow. Systems for managing workflow are best illustrated using a workflow diagram. These systems can focus on process integration, human task orientation, or both. The goal is to create a consistent quality output based on a standardized set of procedures. Fifth one is auditing a process. Flowchart may be used for diagnosing a malfunction or to troubleshoot programs. These uses are common in the field of software and electronics, but they are not confined to just these disciplines. Sixth one is mapping computer algorithm. Brainstorming computer algorithm is often accomplished using the SDL diagram. SDL stands for specification and description language. This is a flowchart that offers a unique set of symbols that are used to map out real-time systems. The three basic components of SDL's diagram are system definition, the block, and the process. Seventh one is data management. The data flow diagram are an efficient way of bridging the communication gap between system developer and the users. They are specialized flowcharts that distill a substantial amount of information into a relatively few symbols and connectors. Eighth one is chemical and process engineering. A process flow diagram (PFD) is a technical illustration also known as flow sheet. It is used to exhibit high-level processes in a chemical and process engineering. The PFD will focus on a major plant processes but not show minor details. This type of diagram is used for a wide range of engineering applications like oil and petroleum refining, natural gas system, green energy such as wind and solar power, water treatment and processes, electrical power plants, and piping and irrigation systems. What is a system flowchart? A system flowchart are a way of displaying how data flows in a system and how decisions are made to control events. To illustrate this, symbols are used. They are connected together to show what happens to data where it goes. Note that the system flowcharts are very similar to data flowcharts. Data flowcharts do not include decision, they just show the path that data takes, where it is held, processed, and then output. This system flowchart is a diagram for a cruise control for a car. The cruise control keeps the car at a steady speed that has been set by the driver. This is the diagram. The flowchart shows how the outcome is if the car is going too fast or too slow. The system is designed to add fuel and take it away so and keep the car speed constant. The output, that is the car's new speed, is then fed back into the system via the speed sensor. Other example of use of for system diagrams are aircraft control, central heating system, automatic washing machine, and booking system for airlines. Advantages and disadvantages of flowchart. Advantages and disadvantages. Flowchart are a good way to communicate a detail of the process to all concerned, whereas some processes are so complex that it becomes difficult to represent them clearly in a flowchart. Flowchart can also help analyze problem or the bottlenecks in a process, but it is an alternation that is to be made to the system. The flowchart usually needs to be redrawn. Flowchart are excellent way of documenting a process. People need to understand what is the flowchart means and what is a different symbol actually represent. In a software development, flowchart act as a act as a guide for programmer, whereas you cannot give the flowchart to the novice and expect them to understand what is going on. And then flowchart enables us to organization to have a record of standard business processes. So now conclusion. A flowchart is a diagram that depicts a process, system, or a computer algorithm. They are widely used in multiple fields to document, study, plan, improve, and communicate often complex processes in clear and easy to understand diagrams. Flowcharts use rectangle, oval, diamonds, and potentially numerous other shapes to define a type of step, along with connecting arrows to define the flow and sequence. As a visual representation of data flow, flowcharts are useful in writing a program or algorithm, explaining it to the others or collaborating with them on it. You can use a flowchart to spell out the logic behind the program before even starting the code, the automated process. It can help to organize big picture thinking and provide a guide when it comes time to code. So here's reference. So this is all from my side. Thank you.